Welcome, yasas, yasu, and hello to the amigos of Pafos FC. Today we're just going to be doing a quick debrief on the match, and what I'll do is I'm going to play a clip and talk you through what's happening. So Pafos started off very well, early pressure, good opportunity in literally a minute and a half, and our lad just shot it past the post. Should have been on target, really, but never mind. That's said and done, though. Omonia A weren't hanging around and weren't there just to have goals scored against them. As you can see from the clips, that they were pressing quite hard in the first half, had their opportunities. If he'd have connected with that in the 6-yard box, our goalkeeper would have had no chance. Bruno played well as usual. Bruno Felipe had his opportunity there with the header. He earned us the penalty early doors with 30 minutes coming up on the time. 24 minutes in total, and he's fouled in the box, albeit he went down quite easily. So we were all expecting 1-0. Pepe stepped up to take the penalty, and everybody was starting to look a little bit jaded. He took the penalty, and as you can see, saved, kicked away by the defender, and Kostic, the Omonia A goalkeeper, had a great game, has to be said. He was absolutely on fire. And to the fact that Pepe missed that penalty, he didn't really kick it that hard. It was all very much a case of everybody looked a little bit tired, very much, in fact. Anyway, moving on to the next clip. You can still see that Omonia A had their chances. A great save by our replacement goalkeeper, because we were resting Michael, which kept us in the game really at 0 in the first half. Coming up to the half-hour mark, and then we were at 6s and 7s. We weren't really speaking to each other in defence. A great sliding tackle from Goldar. If he'd have squared that, we'd have been in big trouble. There's no two ways about it. Moving on, more attacks coming in from Pafos. We did have a lot of opportunities. We just couldn't seem to finish them. Sunic, Correa, Pepe, crossing it in, and more pressure being added until we finally scored with Sunic knocking one in at the near post, which was a massive relief for us all at 54 minutes. One thing that we do have to say, and I'll bring it up at the end of this video, something strange happened during this match, which you'll see. I've got a little video clip of it. Anyway, a great goal by Sunic opened the score, 1-0 Pafos, which was a good start and more relief than anything else for the Pafos fans. Anyway, the last clip I've got towards the end of the game, it shows the pressure that Pafos got put under. And then we had this break. Jar back heel to Dragomir. Great strike, hits the inside of the post and comes back out. He really did hit it with some venom. And then he has another chance, Dragomir, to try and curl one into the far corner. And another great save from Kostic, the Omonia A goalkeeper, tipping it over the bar. He played amazing, to say the least. Moving on towards the 84th minute, another great chance from Orsic, and we blasted it over the bar again. There was a number of substitutes came on, about 4 or 5 for Pafos, and the same amount for Omonia A. Then Bruno Felipe pulls this one out of the bag. Everybody was expecting an overhead kick, and instead of doing the overhead kick, he just manages to control it, flick it over his head, and then turn and hit it on the volley straight into the bottom corner. No chance for the goalkeeper. You can see everybody waiting to see if he was going to do an overhead kick. It was almost like they were pausing to see if he was going to do it. But he didn't. And 2-0 Pafos. So everyone was a lot more happier in the bar that I was drinking in. There was a bit more relief than anything else. And the VAR was all over checking offside. And then Lucasen, from a corner, absolutely smashes it with his head straight into the far corner. And we're thinking 3-0, that's a top result. Absolute top result. And then we see Bruno Felipe stood 3 foot off the line, more or less in line with the goalkeeper, and you see him duck his head, and everybody looks at each other and goes, "Oh no, is he offside?" And then they check the footage, and lo and behold, yeah, he's offside. It didn't need to be there. Lucasen would have scored that goal without it. And then you can see the ref ruling out the goal from 3 down to 2. The last bit of footage that I've got to show you is about a substitution of referees that happened shortly after the first goal that Pafos has scored. We got this, and it shows the ref coming off. He's limping. Now, they didn't say whether it was an injury, whether he'd hurt his hamstring, or whether he'd had a previous injury or anything, but it was something totally out of the blue. And we can only presume one of two things. Either he's got a stone in his shoe and he needed to come off, or he got new boots from his mum and they were too tight and they were killing him. We don't know. But seriously, if it is like a hamstring injury, let's wish him well and speedy recovery. And on that note, we will be sending out a quick recording later on for the Pafos home game against Paralimni. So I will be speaking to you then. And in true honour tradition, Pame Pafos!